Hey y'all.
What's up?
Welcome to Refocused. For those of you who are newer to our channel, our podcast type thing,
Yeah.
we are Refocused. And here, our mission and our vision is to reaffirm and reestablish God's purpose for relationships, lifestyle, and culture. And we do that by challenging the norms with word, wisdom, and love. I'm Essence.
And I'm Anthony. And welcome back. It's been
over a year.
And we are finally on season 2. Finally.
I guess you have to say we had to get refocused though.
Facts.
I think season 1 taught us a lot though.
Yeah.
We were really getting our feet wet, trying to really understand. We still have the same mission, the same vision for Refocus, but oh, how we've grown.
Yeah, it's been a lot
of changes
that has happened since a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And that's honestly what we're gonna talk about today.
That's what we're gonna talk about today. Definitely.
Look at it this way: it's been a year and a half worth of things, life that has happened. So
to say the least. Yeah.
We try to keep these episodes to a respectable time. But this one we may have to
part 2.
We might have to
We're
break this. We're going to have to. It's been too much that has happened.
It's way too much that's happened. And I know there have been some people who've been asking us, when y'all going to put out another episode? What's going on? Where's Refocused? And it was nice to hear because when you're doing all those things, people don't realize the amount of work that goes into
Facts.
it. But I think too, it was nice to hear that people were listening to you, you know, in a culture where everybody's exercising their voice.
Yeah.
You know, you try to like, well, what makes me different? And the thing is I'm just trying to be me.
Yep.
I'm just trying to do what God told me to do. And I know that that'll create its own path. And so it was just really refreshing to hear that people really wanted to hear our show. They wanted to know. And it was great because some people had never even expressed that our show had helped them.
Yeah.
You know, even prior to us starting Refocus, just doing our little lives. And, you know, they're like, man, y'all stuff was helping us with our relationship. And I'm like, oh, man, I didn't even know. But that type of stuff, it helps. We need to know those types of things. So,
it's definitely encouraging knowing that the folks and the people, and y'all gonna see that we
switching
chilling,
things up a little bit.
We at home. Y'all gonna see all of that. Y'all gonna see. Y'all might see Noah come run around here. Yeah, you know, we chilling. It's almost like we in this next season. You know, that's a big church. Season. That's a churchanese thing. Churchanese. in this next season too, y'all gonna see us a lot more. It's almost like y'all getting a peek into the conversations that we would typically have.
Yeah, with just one another. With just each other, yeah.
Because I think that first season we was more. It's like we've kind of trying to. We wasn't trying to teach.
We wasn't.
But it was definitely a lot more guided of conversations. Yeah. Whereas here we're gonna be talking about
script,
things.
Y'all. Ain't no
we're
script.
Gonna be exploring things. We're gonna be minister to each other. We're gonna be. It's gonna be a lot of figuring some things out. Maybe not even agreeing on it.
We don't always agree on things. I think what we get hung up before we get into telling y'all all our business. Before, you know, I think people get hung up on the aesthetics of things.
Yeah.
How things look. And those things are pleasing. But I believe, and one thing that has always been our mission was being real.
Yeah.
You know, people always show their results when they've achieved them. Not when they're in the process of achieving them. Yeah. They'll get to the end result. It's even like the weight loss stuff. They'll get to the end result and then they'll show you all the stuff along their journey. Yeah. But like, take me along with you. I need to know that you're struggling today just like I am. And so we get so fixated on being this well put together, well-to-do type of vibe. And it's just not real. And so I'm actually very happy for where we are in this particular part of our journey. Because we get to just continue to be, we were authentically ourselves then, but y'all about to see just how like chill.
I think what you speaking to, honestly, it's like a picture of what a testimony is supposed to be.
Yeah.
The purpose and the power in testimony.
Yeah.
So what people with your fitness, weight loss analogy, people are missing the testimony.
They are.
They're only seeing the result.
Yeah.
Or I got another analogy.
Oh goodness.
It's like
you scared me already.
You know, I love my music, right?
Okay.
So it's one of the things that people hang Jay-Z up for. Right. He's hung up for, he's a great rapper, but he only talks about the good part of his drug dealing background. He only talk about the glitz and glamour, but not the bad parts of it that would really actually keep people from going down that route. Yeah. So it's that testimony part of it that's important, that really gives people the real and allow them to learn and grow and all that.
Well, speaking of testimony,
that's what we talking about.
That's what we're going to talk about today, guys. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'm hesitant to do that. I know that there is power in vulnerability. Like, I know that it's important to share not just what you're going through, what you've been through, but just to share your thoughts, your feelings with other people. And I think that's what's missing in just a lot of relationships in general. Is people aren't vulnerable, and so they're robbing themselves of learning, of growing. And here we are. God's like, he's brought us through, and we're still going through a lot of different things. But just because we're going through it doesn't mean that we're not supposed to testify about what God has already done. And I know that you were saying one thing God dealt with you on was, why haven't y'all shared your testimony? Like, are you waiting for it to be perfect?
Yeah. I think you and I we was both in prayer. It was last week. And what I told you was we were sitting there, we was praying, we was having our like little bi-devotional time. Yeah. And I feel like what he dropped on me was literally that stark. What are you waiting for it to be perfect? Are you waiting for your story to be perfect? And when it hit me, I'm like,
kinda, we were,
but that was too. I feel like as I even kind of been thinking about it a little more, it was almost to a misunderstanding of who he is in my life. Yeah, like I always kind of subtly. I'm being vulnerable, right? Mm-hmm. Subtly look down on those who look at God as a genie, right? And he's supposed to give us what we need. No, that's not God. No. Well, what the Holy Spirit hit me with was, no, I'm not a genie. Yeah. So what are you waiting for it to be perfect? I've been good this whole time. So even though it's not where you want it to be, you're not in hell. You're not.
They feel like it, but it's not. It's not.
You're not giving up to like all these horrible things. So that's kind of like what it was. Yeah. It's like, what you waiting for it to be perfect? It was quotes around that perfect. Yeah. And it's like, no, you're right, because you've been good this whole time.
And we've acknowledged God's goodness through it, right? But we've also like, I know God about to do something big. I know He's about to do something big, and not even looking at Him in the genie type way. To be honest with you, if we're gonna be really real, it's like at times I feel like I know God is not required to do more than He already has. And I'm not putting Him in a box with His capabilities. Like, I know God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly. Like, I know He can.
More than all you can ask and think.
More than ask and think. But sometimes the enemy will creep in my head and be like, He can do it all. Yeah. But He's probably not going to do it for you.
Bang. Yeah.
And it's been a really, really tough, year and a half?
Year and a half.
Year and a half. It's almost a year and a half.
Definitely a year.
Definitely a year. A little over a year.
But the whole story has definitely been a year and a half.
Yeah. The whole story of a year and a half. It's been really tough. Like, I got tissue just because I'm a little afraid of like what this was going. I'm already tearing up because it's been very tumultuous.
And you know what? I'm kind of glad that we doing this in front of people on the camera. Yeah. Because even though we've experienced this together, obviously, I don't think we have really talked about it or like how we've processed our feelings through it after going through it.
No.
It's only kind of been in the moment.
In the moment, we talk about how we feel about it, but like the whole picture.
Yeah. Like your perspective. Like really your perspective. Yeah.
This is going to be a long one. This is going to be a long one. But bear with us, y'all, because we really want to share what it is that God has done, is doing. And mind y'all, I struggled with bringing this show back for a while because of everything we were going through. Mm-hmm. I mean, there were some moments, really dark moments that we both shared. So let's just start because we can go back and forth and go on and on and on about our feelings about sharing it. Yeah. But let's just go ahead and do it. I mean, we moved. So for those of you who have not caught like our whole background or whatever, I was born and raised in Kansas City, Missouri. My husband, St. Louis. And if y'all know, no. No. But when he proposed to me, when we got engaged, I moved to St. Louis. We bought our first house, our first apartment together the week after we got married. Yep. And
it was a week after?
Yeah, the week after. Well, no, we got it before, but we didn't move in until a week after.
It's real saved.
I mean, no, because y'all, we were tripping too. But anyway, go back to prior episodes. But we lived there for 8 years in St. Louis. We established our life, had our first child, our only child, in St. Louis. Our pastors they started their church.
Yep.
And at that time we were needing a church. We were kind of just floating around looking for different places to be. But God really had told us that we needed to be at our church that we're currently at now. And
what did that look like for you? Like with God bringing it to you, like, hey, yeah, we need to be here.
Well, before then, like it was cool because it was during COVID and things like that. We were online. But when God said move back home to Kansas City, no.
Yeah.
No.
It was a no for me too.
It was a no. And you had never even lived here.
Never lived here. And I felt like we could do it remote. Yeah. Like, I didn't think it was a problem.
I know the importance of being in a church, but it was just different. It wasn't about being in the church. Like I actually wanted to be present because I felt like we were missing some things, especially with being staff for church. But really, what really did it for me was moving back home. I almost feel like I was moving backwards. Not because I don't love my home, not because I don't love my family. Honestly, we didn't want to be in St. Louis either. That was just like a moment in our life. Yeah. We got our picture of where we expected ourselves to be, but moving home was hard for me because I realized that moving home, there were still things that I hadn't worked through. There were people I didn't want to see. There was experiences that I didn't want to be reminded of. And so going home kind of brought all those things back to the front. And I'm like, dang, you got a few things that you actually need to deal with, whether it comes with shame, regrets, whatever it may be. Those things were prominent. So moving back home was kind of sucky, but I was super excited to be back home with my family, like gang, but so it was difficult, but we did it and we did it fast as well. Got a phone with a realtor because I'm trying to speed it up and to get to the part where it's just started to like bang. Like we were working our jobs, we had our home, we had our son, right? And then we were in our jobs, we were working, and we were good. Yeah. But God, we were at that point in time, we were in business, and God was just like, mm-mm.
Yeah, that was
shut the business down.
That was the first thing to go.
That was the first thing to go. And I was praying and asking God, like, okay, God, I knew God had told me we need to do that. I'm like, all right, you're going to talk to Anthony. You're going to talk to my husband about it. And when he brought it to me, I'm like, I think we're supposed to be like quitting business and then like going. And I'm like, I got it too. So, I mean, I guess it's confirmed. How was that for you?
Well, that was the first bit. It's only been a few times where like I've I've like audibly heard God. Yeah. The first one was when I got the instruction that you was my wife.
I mean, God had to tell him, y'all, because that's how much of a rebel he is. Like, I mean, dang, God had to come down the burning bush, marry her.
I'm not a rebel.
No, I'm just playing.
I'm just in tune with the Holy Spirit.
He's so holy.
But then that was like another time, and what he told me with that was, you've worked so hard. Especially in hindsight, almost like it was an idol. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like I'm a Christian, been a Christian about Jesus since 2012, 2013.
And I grew up in church, so
I will tell anybody where I've been not right. Yeah, absolutely. In his eyes, you know what I'm saying? But he definitely kind of like, it's basically been an idol for you. Yeah. So I need you to build me like you work to build that. You hear me? And I'm like, okay. And it may not be like this for everybody, right? Some people may just need to, he just allow them to correct their course.
That's their thing.
But for me, he said, hey, you got to stop. And that was that. And I was okay with that. I was okay with that.
Yeah. It was hard though. Mm-hmm. It was hard for us to do that because we had been doing it for 3 years. Mm-hmm. And that was our plan. Yep. That was what was going to get us where we wanted to be.
Oh my gosh. What's that song?
But in hindsight 2020.
God problems?
Yeah, God problems. Right. But hindsight 2020, I'm so happy that happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so happy that happened. Mm-hmm. But that was the first thing. God said, okay, stop business. Make Christ your business, your ministry. Yep. And
then that next year. Yeah. The next year, I think that's when we started. We started this podcast. No, I think that's when we started this podcast.
Yes.
It was like soon after that. Yes. And then
we did. Dang, that's right.
Yeah, it was that.
Yeah.
And then up to there is where you got the word to hey, we need to be at so from leaving that to getting everything together to come here was what, 8 months?
Yeah.
8, 9 months, 10 months tops. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a year.
No, it was not a year.
It wasn't a year.
It wasn't a year. But we were looking to purchase a home.
Well, and that's we going from there, right? Because that whole thing is
we're going from the moment we hit the road. No, we gotta go from the house.
We have to.
No.
We gotta go from before.
Before what? We hit the road?
Before we hit the road.
Yes, you're right. I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. Because that was a thing about in and of itself.
In and of itself.
Yes.
Can you want to start that? Or?
We can't talk about all the stuff that happened after buying the house until after we hit the road.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We're on the same page. Okay.
So
this is what happened. We ain't got no script, y'all.
Yeah, right. So we got the word and obeyed.
Yeah.
To take off to Kansas City.
Yes.
I want to hear your perspective on all of this stuff and how it went down too. But so we got the word, started kind of like trying to look and plan and say, okay, how is this gonna make sense? Like, what is this gonna do? Mm-hmm. Like, how's this gonna work? Because you was working, I was working. We didn't necessarily have a lot of money saved up. Mm-hmm. We couldn't just pack up and move because we were in our lease with the house that we were in.
Yeah.
And we had never bought a home before. So we had to do all of these legal red tape things to even buy a home. Shout out to our realtor, Sheridan, because she took care of us. Excuse me.
We're getting over a cold, y'all, so bear with us.
But with that, when we started, we couldn't even really look for a home the first time because we didn't have it.
So when we first, the reason why our move took as long as it did is because we just were not ready to purchase a home. Mm-hmm. And it was just a lot of red tape, like you said. But maybe about 6 months later is when we contacted her. We were actually ready, but it moved very fast. Quick. So when I say this moved quick, within a month.
Oh my gosh!
Within a month,
we put in 60 days. We had to put in a 60 days notice with our lease.
Yes.
I called our leasing agency, or whoever.
Yes.
Said 60 days. Okay, 60 days.
But it was fine because we were good tenants.
Yeah.
There was an issue. They were awesome. Mm-hmm. And we were no extra.
But that 60 days was all right. We got 60 days to find a house and move in another city, across the state.
But the good thing was that the housing market is so crazy. It was so crazy that if you found a house that you liked, you had to move immediately on it. And so within the same weekend, okay, wait, I don't want to move too fast.
Well, the thing that was difficult about that was being across state. We couldn't just go every single weekend to look for a house. No, so that was hurdle number one for this whole thing. And hurdle number two, we still had to have the capital to move. That wasn't like we wasn't balling out here that just had it. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. So we had to work and move and plan with that whole thing. But go ahead. I feel like he's about to.
I mean, no, it was. I'm following on what you were just saying. That was a lot. So we had to find a weekend. On a weekend that we were here, which was a weekend of one of our church picnics. We left the picnic to go and look at a house. Went and looked at a few homes, saw a few of them, and we were like, okay, we like this one. Our realtor was like, it's gonna go fast. That's just the market, because it was almost like there's not enough homes on the market. And so we liked it, and we had to make an offer within the next day, right?
Yeah. We had
they accepted our offer.
The next day, yeah. That's what we had.
They accepted our offer. Yep. And then we're in this whole homeowner process. Okay.
I want to leave this out. The hustle that we had to do that summer.
We're not going to leave that out. Oh, no. We hustle, baby.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, because I guess that's after, yeah.
That's after. Oh, did we hustle? Because we still had
to. No, it was leading up to.
No. It's still after. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. The timeline is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to leave it out. But at the end of the day, it was a hustle because we had, while we're in underwriting, we are hustling. We're working our day jobs. We are parents. We're doing our ministry, our portion of the church ministry from afar, as well as Amazon Flex.
I was taking on extra photography jobs, and I haven't really been a photographer like that. No.
And nobody even knew that. A lot of people didn't even know we was Amazon flexing it. When I tell you this is how bad we were Amazon flexing, just to give y'all some, we're literally on our apps, refresh, trying to find the biggest money route so that we can get that money, so that we can have enough money to move. Yeah. This is us trying to be obedient and doing everything we can to make it happen.
Yeah. Moving in faith.
Y'all. Yeah. Exactly. So we're Amazon flexing it. One night, I'm taking a route at 3 a.m. And Anthony's at home. And he's helping Noah. And he'll take a route later on that day, that night. So I'm taking a route for $130-something that morning. And after my route is done, I'm literally driving straight into work.
Yep.
And then I'm getting off of work, and Anthony's like, I got a route at this time. And so I'm rushing home to take over home so that Anthony can go out and do his route.
We was literally planning our days and our evenings by the hour. That's like for 2 months.
For 2 months.
For like 2 months, we just because we again the capital we knew we had to go, but it wasn't. I feel like anyone else who is in the market to buy a house, they are looking for like a year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And in that year, they're getting themselves prepared. They're doing all these things. And bro, we had to, was it?
And it was crazy because we were, okay, we got a little bit of money just to save up to leave. And I want to put this in perspective. We're not the type of people who crave a lavish lifestyle. We want to be comfortable. Don't get me wrong. And however, we've never been very flamboyant, flashy, nor have we been materialistic people who just go out and splurge and irresponsible with money. We were out here hustling so that we could do what God told us to do. Not saying that God wasn't going to make a way, because he sure did come through on the back end with the favor, especially with our leasing, our loan officers, and not bringing.
We're gonna get to that.
We I feel like we're taking so long.
I know it's good. We gotta let this ride. We gotta.
But even then, we were okay. We found the loan officer, and we were program.
Yeah.
The program that helped us. We think we had to bring all this money to the table. And we did not.
Yeah, that whole thing was crazy because, we had been hustling. And working to save up and while still taking care of regular life too with
and
debt
honestly,
and all
our hustling
these
wasn't
things.
going to make enough anyway. And it wasn't going to be enough.
What we didn't know, that's where the faith filled in the rest. Basically,
it did.
So we hustling. I got to tell this story too, because this was like the first in this whole process. The first nod from God. This whole time I've been calling them nods from God.
Like I call them rainbows.
Yeah, little rainbows, nods He's been giving us. And this was the first time, right? So we put the offer in on the home, like you said, and it got accepted. But now it's a whole nother thing. We never bought a house before. I didn't know that wasn't the finish line. and it's so funny. It's so funny. Our realtor said, "Hey, y'all don't celebrate until the paper is signed."
Yeah.
And when she said that, I'm like, nah, it can't be like that.
That underwriting, man,
underwriting was crazy. So not only having to get all these documents, but also having to like basically earn the bank's trust that we were going to be good loan applicants and actually have their money on the first of the month. Yeah. Which is crazy. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's not crazy.
They literally was monitoring those accounts. You hear me like, so where this come from? Where this come from? Where this come from?
It got to a point like back when I started my photography stuff, I took out a business loan and that loan has stuck around. But for them, they didn't like that. No, they did not like that. So it got to the point where I had to close an account, and I was mad because the account was in good standing, and it had my credit score top notch. But they said, "Nah, you got to close this. Like that's not enough." So we had to close that. That did that. Still not looking like it's gonna be good and well enough for us to be able to afford like the down payment and the closing costs and all of those things.
All our hustling just wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. So that's the point where we was like, all right, God, you gotta take care of this. And I never forget, I was in the middle of a route. It was like I was on the Amazon route, like just working in faith. Just on the Amazon route. And I got a call from my loan officer, and that's when he told us that, hey, because of this program where y'all at, y'all not gonna have to pay closing costs. Right. I literally started crying in the car in the middle of North Side St. Louis with all these packages in the back of the car. Yeah. I'm like, there's no way. Thank you, Lord. Yeah. Because with that being taken care of, it's like $7,000 worth of closing costs paid. Yeah. And that allowed us to have the rest of everything else to like down payment, being able to
still scraping the bottom of the
still bucket. Scraping, being able to move, like all of the last things that we actually would have been able to. It wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for God coming through with that, because we didn't even know that we was gonna really qualify for that. Qualify for that. Yeah. So that was the first little nod in this whole story.
But it was crazy because people didn't even realize when we first got our keys and we signed the paper, we were still living in St. Louis. Mm-hmm. We got our keys, our house was here, and then it's almost time to move. Yep. That's when it got crazy.
From jump.
And so wait.
Go ahead.
We got on the road, y'all. And when we got here, we about to get really transparent.
Before you go too deep.
I wasn't. I'm okay. I wasn't.
Because the only reason I'm
go ahead,
making sense. It may make sense to pause it here and come back for part 2.
Okay.
Maybe. Just because we gotta go soon enough, and I don't want to get in the middle of it. And then, what you think? What you think? We could go.
I think we should keep going up for a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Let's keep going for a little bit, and then we'll get. Okay. We'll just say to be continued.
Let's do it.
So we packed up our car. You had a friend who let us use his truck because he isn't a trucker. He let us use his truck. We were looking at every way possible that we could save some money.
That stuff expensive moving across
everything
across the state.
You know the economy; it's just trifling. Anyway,
and we didn't have jobs.
No.
Yet.
So, yeah,
that was another thing.
Left my job without a job and moved here without.
Yep.
And mind you, I was working at the job that I was at for 4 years. And when we decided to move, I was interviewing, but I hadn't scored anything quite yet. Yep. And when I did score something, I was still getting paid less than what I had made at my other job. Mm-hmm. Still no, it was just, we was on a wing and a prayer.
Yeah, okay? Legit
wing and a prayer. Mind you, that's scary moving into a house, but we trust in God.
We're trusting God.
We're trusting God. And so when we finally when we were on the road heading here, y'all, I want to put my head down when I say this. No, I won't put my head down.
We had to pack everything in the truck.
Not even just
in the rain.
We had some it was raining.
It was raining that day.
It was raining the day that we were moving our stuff.
Like, not just regular rain, too. No, it was raining.
Rain. It was big
This
rain.
is August 2022.
And we had how much in the bank? Not a lot.
Not a lot.
We didn't even have.
I can't remember that level of detail, but it wasn't comfortable. I'll say that much. There we go. We'll put it at that. It wasn't comfortable.
It was very uncomfortable. Yeah. I'd rather just say that it was very uncomfortable because it just wasn't a lot to sustain us for a long amount of time at all. So first thing that happened is we're on the road. Me and Noah, our son, arrives in Kansas City, and we're literally waiting for you to arrive.
And it's only a 4-hour drive. Granted, I'm in a 26-foot box truck, so it's not going 70, but it's still only 200 miles.
So what was it going? On the highway?
It wasn't.
It wasn't
going.
Y'all.
It took 10 hours.
10 hours.
10 hours. It took me 10 hours to go from St. Louis to Kansas City in a 26-foot box truck. And it's like everything that went, I was feeling bad because granted, it's not even my truck and it's not a company's rental truck. This is my homeboy's.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, man, I done broke my boy's truck.
It just didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense.
He had just did a route.
Everything was fine.
Get it and it just.
Everything was fine. So I'm on the phone with him. He's like, bro, just push it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just push it.
Oh, you pushed it.
And it was scary. Yeah. It was slow.
You were by yourself.
By myself. It was hot.
And me and Noah, meanwhile, we just literally laying on Noah's mattress in the bedroom, anticipating your arrival. And we had some people, thank God, that were here.
Shout out to our squad.
They helped us move. Those are the individuals, y'all know who y'all are. We're so grateful for y'all that actually showed up for us. And we won't forget the people who have shown up for us in this. But they got that truck unloaded, our whole house unloaded in literally like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was quick.
And it was just and they moved everything to the rooms.
Yep.
And I had a team of ladies in the kitchen that unpacked my whole kitchen and just put it away for me, which was a blessing. And I had a friend here, shout out to Danny, who was, since we waiting on Anthony, you need me to go to Walmart, you need me to get any of these things. And I'm like, I ain't got no money. Yeah. What we got is what we got on that truck. But, it was a blessing. But that was
even we had some people come down from Kansas.
Yes, we did.
All the way from Kansas. Our friends from high school.
And she's was pregnant.
To
help us.
Just to help. Yeah.
Just to help us.
We're very thankful for our people.
Yeah.
That's a definite.
But the truck was the start of it, right? The truck was a 10-hour ride.
Literally from jump. I want to slow down on this just a little bit.
I don't want to slow down because we got
just
too
to
much.
push the point home is of the testimony that we're giving. Like, this stuff literally started from the jump
we hit
of the move.
The road.
It's crazy. Like, it's literally crazy.
I don't think people understand when we say we haven't gotten a break. And mentally, emotionally, spiritually, from the moment we hit the road to do what God told us to do.
And I'm not so much a pessimist like that.
No.
Like, anybody know me know that I'm not. No. But bruh, even I'm like, hey, yeah, bruh, like this
I feel like Monica, I'm still standing.
But we moved here. We did get here.
We got here and we're like, okay, finally, we're here.
Well, no, not finally.
No, because
I still had to get the truck back.
You had to get the truck back. Same vibe here. It took me that much to get it back. But
yeah, I was a little more brave with the truck that time. And I was just like, hey,
you knew what she was up for at that point. Yeah, we got it back. But then within what would I say, a week of us being here? It wasn't even a week, was it?
No. It was by that Monday or Tuesday. We walking around, we getting settled in our home and stuff like that, getting stuff in the basement. Thankfully my job allowed me to work remote. So that was one of the things that we didn't have to worry about finding two different jobs.
Right.
A job let me work remote. So I'm coming down, setting up, trying to, set up my office in the basement. I'm coming downstairs. I'm smelling something. And I'm like, that probably shouldn't be. I shouldn't smell that. Turns out, I call Spire. Turns out we got a gas leak. Yeah. Legit a gas. Within now, mind you, week, when we came to look at, we saw the house twice before we bought it. Didn't smell any hints of gas. Nothing. Whoever the agency that was selling this home, the leasing office that was selling this home, they did under minimum, honestly, and they got us on a few things. But
it's so funny. I was laying in bed, just not to interrupt you. I'm sitting here like, Rihanna, for real, we bought a lemon.
Put up in a lemon. I told her we won't stop.
We got a lemon.
That is hilarious. Facts.
Mug was nice.
Bruh. So I'm coming downstairs. I smell gas. I'm like, nah, bro. So I'm hoping like it's something simple. Because I don't think maybe I have told you this element of, but I'm hoping it's something simple. I'm hoping it's something like this. Not going to be a big deal to get fixed. It's not going to be that big of a deal. So a Spire guy comes out. He said, yeah, he was running a little gas meter and that thing go off.
Gas leak.
I'm like, all right, there it is.
Right.
So he goes, I've never experienced this before. He go cut our gas off. I'm like,
yeah, it's dangerous at that point.
I'm like, why you cut it off? It didn't smell that bad. Like that's what I'm thinking.
Not it didn't smell that
bad. because I know if no gas, that mean we ain't got no hot water.
Well, baby, let me tell you this.
And we didn't have no hot water.
We didn't have no hot water. And that was for 3 to 4 weeks.
Nah.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
3 to 4?
It was 3 weeks.
Long enough.
No, it was 3 weeks because I'm not going to go through the whole process that we had to go through in order to get the gas. We had to get it fixed. Yeah. Then we had the city, we had a permit to do the work. And then they had to check the work.
They had to tear some of our wall down to get to the gas line. Down,
just a nice strip down our drywall off our finished basement. But that took about 3 weeks. Yep. And so, y'all, it took me back to my childhood. Let me go boil this water on the stove.
It was
I'm literally going up and down the stairs
to
pour water so some water so my baby can take a warm bath.
Bruh.
And I'm like, Anthony you thugging it out with
cold showers. I took it. It was a mental test. It was like, all right, I'm you know what
I was doing.
You know those entrepreneur guys. They love taking cold showers in the morning because it just tests you. So I was like,
we had family that's like, our family like, I can come and take a shower over here, but I'm like, I can, but it's just too much. And so I'm standing in the shower, letting the water run in the cold, and I'm just, I can't say it on here. They used to call it
you can say it,
a walker of the night bath. Okay,
I'll say it. It's a whole bath. And y'all know.
I'm just throwing the cold water.
See, you was doing that. I was doing double dutch with the shower.
I couldn't do it. It was just a lot. Because I'm like, I'm about to get my big boy pouring out this water. I'm like, for no way it worked. But anyway, gas leak is fixed.
Yep.
Great. Yep. Awesome. Now we got to get the patchwork.
We got to get the patchwork done.
And we got a guy, botch work.
Oh my God.
But
this
anyway,
dude did not care about his work.
He did not care. We're not even going to go
But we got the drywall piece fixed. I thought I did a good job tearing it down, but whatever. But in that time, was it in that time or just after?
I have notes of everything that's taking place.
I think it was within that same. So it was. So in that same time where we had our gas leak problem getting fixed, and there was a lot of anybody's work with home warranty companies, they put you through the ringer because they don't want to pay no money, even though they got billions. But whatever, they don't want to help nobody. But we had to go through that back and forth with them, and finally got that fixed. In that same time frame, it rains. Now, mind you, guys,
it wasn't that first.
It wasn't that first. Backup. So it did rain, but I come downstairs. It might have even been that same week. If the gas leak happened that Tuesday, it doesn't even matter. If not that by that Friday or at least the beginning of next week, I come downstairs and my carpet is soggy in our finished basement. Our carpet's soggy. I'm like, okay, that's not supposed to be wet. Open up the boiler room. Sure enough, we got a backup. And I'm like, bro, we just got here.
I mean, like this is within the first few weeks.
We just got here. Why is it backing up? So I'll call the plumbing company. They come out, do what they do with it. I'm like, cool, whatever. It's just a backup. The house was sitting for a year, and it was a rental home before that. So we're like, okay, whatever. We just had to get the thing cleaned out, whatever. Cool. After that, then it rains. And we get water coming in on the other side. So we literally got water coming from 1 week. We got water coming from the north side of the basement. The next week we got water coming from the south side of the basement. It's literally like, bro, what is going on? So it turns out we got water coming in whenever it rains. Let that chill. We try to figure it out. Cool. We just moved here. It's just a fluke. Because when we came and visited the house to look at it before, when we visited the house before, we didn't smell any water. It's a finished basement, carpet, no water smell, no nothing. So I'm coming down. I think the next rain happened a few days later. Rain comes in again. I'm like, all right, this might actually be something. And then a week after that, the thing backs up again. So that's where we learn we need to probably do something a little more in depth to get the sewer line taken care of. But it's going to always rain. We live on planet Earth.
Well, what we realized is we got quotes on a lot of stuff prior. And we knew that they were like, okay, a temporary fix to the sewer line would be, what, $1,200? $1,200 and it'll last us a year. Cool.
Mm-hmm. A permanent fix would be $10K.
$10K.
Mm-hmm.
However, we realized, I'm trying to speed it up because I know it's too much. We're not going to miss the nuances, like the little things, but the water come in, we come find out we need to install a sub pump.
We need to get a sub pump, a whole system.
So within the first month, we knew that we were already $20K in.
Yeah.
$20K in.
Of work, necessary work.
Of work necessary. And I'm imagining that you buying a home and you can't even fix it up because all your work is going to stuff you can't, all your money is going to things that you can't
decorate it. Not say I just want to be, not fix it up, but like decorate it how you want it.
Right.
Yeah.
Decorate it how I want it. Anyway. Well, that basement that was finished got completely gutted.
Had to gut the whole
thing. And I'll share pictures of things. I started taking pictures, but we had to pull everything up, gut out the whole basement.
All the carpet, all the drywall, everything had to go.
To install a sub pump. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then we had to put it back up because this is our office space. This is what we would use for Refocus, all these different
things. And it's our
home.
I mean, we want our home to be comfortable.
And so, that was that. And so then it moved from realizing we haven't been here for like a summer or a winter, right?
Yep.
It's really cold in here.
Yeah.
And we were going right into the winter time. Yep. We were like, oh, wow, it's freaky cold.
Mm-hmm.
So cold. They're like, hold on, bro. This is not normal.
This ain't normal.
We need new windows.
Like in the 40s.
like in cold. The 40s. Like it's cold.
Cold in here.
And we need new windows in the house. I'm just gonna go through. Mm-hmm. We need new windows. The sub pump. So those are just some of the things. For the time being, we had to get all this built back up, and that had to get back and running.
Yeah, that was about. We can keep a tally of everything too.
Yeah,
so we about 25 in.
Yeah, that's 25 in, right? And then what else? The car.
No, that's it's plenty in there.
What else was it?
So
it was. It's such a
we get through it. Yeah, I think this is more so the enemy kind of just doubling down on us. But through that time, we also had a lot of like fears and doubts with Noah.
Oh,
we had a lot of fears and doubts with Noah. Tears, like legit tears, and just fear, wondering, scared of what's gonna be what. How it's going to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. The school that we wanted Noah to be in originally.
Oh, yeah, that was the same week, too.
That was the same week. Mm-hmm. Within that first week as well, the school that we wanted Noah to go to, we thought he was going to be enrolled. Everything was everything. And they said, we have to pause enrollment.
Yep, literally the week we moved there.
And I'm like, no. Yep. Like, he needs to be at this particular school. And that was shut down for a while. So gratefully, we were able to find somewhere for him to go. He was safe there, but it wasn't enough challenge. It wasn't, they just weren't, and Noah has had a speech delay. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking that because he's improved so much. That we wanted him to go somewhere. People didn't think that something was wrong with him, in a way of, oh, he can't learn like the other kids. And so they just like, talk him to the side. So that had happened. And so ended up through all of this, Noah's at home as well. So, we don't have the childcare we need.
Yep.
I'm working, but my hours make me be out of the house by 6.
Literally.
For 6 something.
And not home till 6 o'clock.
And not home until later. So I'm missing out on ample family time. And it wasn't necessarily a career field that I wanted to be in anyway, but it was something that it was a means to an end. So what else?
So through the winter, we get through the winter. I'm gonna say we thug it out through the winter.
Oh, I forgot the other stuff. You're right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we now mind you, with all of this, we know that we got to get new windows. That was one of the things that we kind of decided on.
We decided we was gonna let them things sit.
So we going through all of the meetings and wanting to get windows until the sump pump happens, the basement, all of these things happen. It's like, well, we can't get new windows right now. Like, we can't. So that pushes that off, but it also didn't allow us to be prepared for the winter coming in. Even stuff as simple as getting the insulation, we had to put that off. Like all of these different things that we had to move and shake priorities, necessary priorities, even for other necessary emergencies. And that it's crazy how all of that went down. You know what I mean? Even so much to the point of getting to the end of the winter, just barely at the end, still got a few more cold weeks, and our furnace blows out. Done. No heat. No, even though the heat really wasn't heating, it was something, but no furnace. So we had to figure that out. Back with the home warranty company again. Cool. We get that worked out. Had to drop a little more bread. Whatever. What was next after that?
It wasn't long after that. I think the AC. No, it was after the furnace. We were just at this point. We were trying to still build the basement back up.
Yeah,
we were still trying to.
Yeah, because it was sitting for a little bit until we finally bit the bullet. I thought I was going to be Bob the Builder.
Yeah, and I don't even want to go there because he just had to figure out on his own. But eventually, warmer weather came around, and then the AC unit is too small for the house. The AC started leaking.
Yeah, the evaporator coil stopped working.
And it started leaking into that
the brand new furnace
that was bought.
Yep.
Luckily, it was bypassing the control board and it didn't cause any additional damage to the furnace. But that was something else that we had to get fixed, which was just, at this point, I'm just like, God, you taking this new thing to a new level. Because what? Yeah. And so.
And I gotta say, just in this whole time, we only halfway through the last year now at this point, and we already defeated.
Breakdowns, like broke down. Like I'm sitting, and this is a real transparent moment. I don't think y'all understand with dealing with just family life, being in a career field you're not happy about. Everything around you feel like it's caving in.
Can't get settled. Can't even get settled.
It's caving in, and you didn't expect that when you told God yes. So before we go into the other stuff that happened, let's kind of just stay here for a second before we go into our part 2. I was through all of this. You and I both had discussed. Okay, God, did we do something wrong? Yep. Like you in your private time with God, I'm in my private time with God, asking, wait, am I out of line somewhere? Which was beautiful that we both were doing that. Like, God, am I out of line somewhere? Like, we just thought we were doing what you told us to do. Like, are we out of line? What did we do to be where we are right now? My son, who is his speech led at that time, I'm teaching him how to say his name. And how old he is and all these things. And I remember at that point, I had a complete emotional breakdown where if you've ever been there, it was, I can't even move. You got your son around you doing whatever he's doing, trying to talk to you, but you just stuck. And all you could do is wail. Like, I'm not just regular crying. I am wailing in a capacity I have never before, in such sorrow, with so much grief,
straight lamenting,
because I didn't think we deserved to be experiencing what we had experienced. I didn't think we had the support that we needed. I didn't think that I think people typically look at us as the people who just got it together. Mm-hmm. And it oftentimes leaves us neglected in relationships in general. Mm-hmm. And just relationships, mm-hmm. you know, we are people who are very giving. And this is just all playing into where my mind was at point. We're people who are very giving. We're very present for people. You know, we listen. We're always open ears. But at that point in our life, it was isolation, it felt like. And nobody can understand what I'm going through. So it was, when I say at this point, I was defeated. I'm sitting over at my desk and I am lamenting. And I don't think I've ever gave myself enough space to do that. Because sometimes you don't have enough space to do it. You got to keep it moving. But at that moment, I couldn't. And that's what people don't talk about.
Yeah, you got to grieve. Because I think anybody would say that we lost something. Even though it ain't like a person or a thing.
Yeah.
Maybe we lost some peace.
Yeah.
Maybe we lost some comfort. Maybe we lost, maybe I don't know if I'm speaking for me, which is crazy. Maybe we lost a little faith.
Yeah.
Like
it was wavering.
Like,
it was.
Like,
we was it was there, but it was, you know, back and forth. Like, God, I'm mad at you. Having those spouts of, God, I'm mad at you. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm mad at you. And it was that shame too. Like, let me hide. Like, I don't want to tell people what we've been going through, because we literally, at that point, we decided to walk away from a business where we thought that we were going to have this certain lifestyle. We were going to do this certain type of thing. And people laughing at us for saying we're going to follow God. Yep. We're going to follow his path.
Straight, that's crazy. We literally got laughed at.
On the phone, literally got laughed at us.
Legit.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. People always say this.
Heard that before,
right? And we're like, I don't want to tell people, because they're like, well, that's what you get. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. But here we are. God doesn't need us to protect his reputation. No. And what he said is what he said. And we're going to do it 10 toes down at the end of the day. But I can't not share the testimony because it's not perfect. Yeah. This is all a part of it. Yes, that we've been suffering because we were obedient, but imagine the suffering if we were disobedient to what God had told us to do. Yeah. And so this is what God has told us to do. This is the path that we're on. And guess what, y'all? After that crying phase, it didn't end.
It did not end.
It kept going.
Man, if y'all only knew.
We got to stop.
We do have to stop.
We have to stop. So that's going to be part 1. Because there's so much more to dive into.
We just went through the first 6 months.
We
got a whole another 6 months to talk about.
It's still, and we're sitting right here, y'all. And guess what? It still ain't over. Yeah. We just got hit with news last week. But I'm not necessarily interested in covering that right now. We got hit with stuff last week, and God is still working things out. But guess what? We stronger than we ever have been, even though it hasn't looked up for us yet. And so we'll cover some more in part 2. But right now, thank y'all for listening to us kind of ramble a little bit about, in the beginning, but giving y'all some details about what we experienced within the first 6 months of the new journey.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about since what's been going down since February. Yeah. What all has happened since February.
What's all been happening on the next
February.
Part. Yeah.
What we got up to this point with Furnace, where AC. We were and where we were spiritually and emotionally at that point. Yeah. Okay. This is a mental note.
It's a mental note. So
it's a mental note.
We're gonna pause here because we know some of y'all don't have that much attention span. I'm just joking.
I got it. Hey, I'll burn out a 3-hour podcast.
Yeah, because you do it on 2x speed. Anyway,
that's cool.
But either way, we're gonna stop here. We thank y'all for tuning in to our first episode of our new season.
Season 2.
And
what it do?
It's so much more to tell y'all. It's so much more vulnerability to be had, and so much discussion to be had. But we're back to the table, not like Jada though. Okay,
Good God.
We're back to the table to talk to each other.
Yeah.
And is it decompress? Not decompress. No, I don't know the word. It doesn't matter.
It's something. Somebody can.
But
put
we're
it out
here
there
to
for
talk
us.
about it, and so watch this. Stay tuned. We might drop a 2-part episode.
No,
at the same time. At the same time. So we love y'all. We appreciate you all for tuning in. listen, please hear our hearts, because we want to share this with y'all and give encouragement at the end of it. Of people who are going through life like y'all are. So
we gotta go get our son.
Stay focused.
Stay focused.
Peace out.
Peace.